Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
What is up? What is up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy BG31 in the building. Welcome to another late night with Birdgang with some friends. I got two of the best content Eagle fans out there. You know the GOAT Philly 500, and then I had to go find Miss Philadelphia and bring her out of hiding. How you doing today, guys?
What's going on? How are you?
Doing great. Doing great.
So who's ready? Who's ready?
You ready to roll?
Come on, y'all gotta be excited.
Let's go.
I got a nap first. No, I'm just kidding.
You got a nap first. All right, all right. So how you guys doing, man? Like Eagles, NFC East, champions. We're in the NFC Championship, best team in football. Y'all already know how I rock with the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? How you guys like the game last week, and how you see this team moving forward?
Go ahead. You can go first. You can answer first.
Oh, ladies first. Thank you.
There you
Such
go.
a gentleman.
I know.
I
That's
appreciate that.
I know, right?
Well, as you all know, I'm the positive Eagles fan and always extremely hopeful in every situation. And this entire season, it's been what I call cruise control. And in the postseason, that cruise control is still active. So I see that just carrying into this game. I'm confident. I'm positive. I'm hopeful. I really like just the humble, just like down to business character of these players, especially Jalen Hurts as one of the leaders. And I just think they're not going to flinch. So they're on cruise control. That's what I say, which means victory if y'all didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I have to agree with her. I feel very confident about this game. I feel good about this game. I actually feel better about this game than the game last week. The game last week gave me a little bit like, it's the Giants. You never know what's going to happen in a division rival. But this game, I think it's set up perfectly for us. I feel great, man.
Nice. Yeah, we got the Niners. Everybody's pumping their chests out in the Bay Area right now, thinking they're about to come over here to Philly and do something. But I told them, hey, don't get that cold from Cali. I'm from Cali. I know it don't get that cold there. And, we're a different football team. We're not the Cowboys. The Cowboys went out there. You guys barely beat them. We're a whole nother breed of football team over here. And we're hot at all different, positions. The whole team is hot right now. So it's like, do you guys feel like we got snubbed in some of this stuff? I know a lot of people are talking about the snubbings that's been going on. Jalen Hurts is a MVP finalist, which is well deserved. But we got some people that got snubbed this year. The Hargrave leading the league in sacks out of DT, didn't make no Pro Bowl, didn't make no All Pro team. You got BG comeback player of the year, 11 sacks, best season he's ever had, and he still didn't get no love for comeback player of the year. Like, how do you see the blatant disrespect to the Eagles, and why do you think it's there?
I'll say this. To me, it's not a surprise. Are we surprised? This happens all the time. Just think about 2017. What about Doug Peterson, right? He takes the team to the Super Bowl after missing the playoffs with second-year quarterback, dealing with all the injuries he did. We go to the Super Bowl, we win it. He wasn't. I don't even think he was a finalist for Coach of the Year. He didn't get it. Carson didn't get MVP that year, even though he deserved it. This is typical. We always get screwed over with this kind of stuff. So it doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah. So again, not surprised. It's the whole they don't like us and we don't care scenario. It's just like, it doesn't matter what people say. There's going to be haters, but as long as we're winning football games and winning them as convincingly as we've been winning them, I think our players are cool, and I'm cool with that.
And I like to say that because I feel like the whole year there wasn't one game that I watched, that Jalen Hurts played in. Because I will say those two games with Gardner Minshew, I wasn't too confident with the guy in there being our quarterback. But other than that, like, there was no games this year where I feel like, the Eagles couldn't win. And you've seen that, we only lost 3, and I feel like we beat ourselves in those 3 games. It wasn't like the other team was really that much better than us. But do you feel that sense of confidence with the team that, it's Super Bowl or bust for us?
Yeah, hell yeah. It's Super Bowl or bust at this point. When you have home field advantage, you got the playoffs, and then you're going to the conference championship game at home. Yeah, I think it's Super Bowl or bust, man. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. I got my eyes on the prize, you guys. So this is my first season back in like 4 years. And I know Philly 500 doesn't know my background, but I got this like prophetic insight where I was told to come back in like a spiritual way, like come back, start making videos. And now, because of the way I got back into this season with like a nudge from just spiritually saying come back, now I see why. And I'm like, well, if I got this like hardcore nudge and like do it now, don't wait, I'm like, they're not gonna have, like, that doesn't happen if they're just gonna make it to the championship game, or just lose in the Super Bowl. So I have a little supernatural aspect to my excitement while I just have my eyes on the prize. And Jalen Hurts, one of his family members is an actual apostle. Like, he preaches the gospel and he's like, hallelujah, and then like live streaming about the Eagles on, Monday. And so he, even before the season started, he got a word saying, you heard it here first, the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl, and Jalen Hurts is going to get the MVP. This was before even week 1 came to pass. So this is the little supernatural, invisible realm that just gives me added confirmation to what we're seeing and experiencing, that as long as our team stays focused and just hunkers down and does what they've been doing every single week, stay healthy, like, nobody can take this team down. Nobody.
You don't happen to have the lottery numbers, do you?
I'm not scared.
I'm just saying.
That's a good one though, man. Like, I've been saying it all off season. 500, I think we did a show earlier this season, and I told you guys Jalen Hurts will be MVP, and it's still a possibility for that. And the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Like, those are 2 things I knew for sure. Looking at this team, I go, it's not very hard to look at and see. The talent that Howie Roseman done put on this football team is ridiculous. Like, we've never been this talented. I think all the records that we broken this year shows you that we've never been this talented. And I know a lot of people like to say we gotta see it first, but I'm one to believe that you've seen what the Rams did last year, you've seen what the Tampa Bay did the year before. When you got better players, with a good coach, it's unstoppable. You're gonna win that Super Bowl. So, I'm all in on Super Bowl this year. I don't think that the Niners really have that good of a team to stop us. Yes, they are the number one defense, but what, 15 yards, and we're the number two defense, but we are the number one offense in the league. And I think that's one of the biggest difference that people aren't really looking at. You're trying to play this game from a defensive standpoint. We play against one of the best defenses in the league practice against them every single day in practice. Right. So I'm not really worried too much. We got a lot more dogs in our defense than I think they got on their defense. Not saying that the ones they got aren't good.
Yeah. Well, can you honestly imagine a rookie quarterback coming into Philly and winning? I can't. I've played that in my mind so many times. I just cannot see that happening. It's not going to happen. So I think we're in a good situation going into this game. But everybody is focusing on the Eagles' offense versus Niners' defense. I think we should flip it around. Focus on the 49ers' offense and the Eagles' defense. And you tell me how a rookie quarterback is going to be able to move the ball and put points on the board in Philly against that defense. I think it's going to be hard to do.
Yeah, I see a massacre coming. People want to say this is going to be the hardest fought game, probably the best game in the playoffs, tight game. I don't really see it that way, man. I don't see it that way. Like you said, that is the number one reason why. We got an MVP quarterback on our side. You got Mr. Irrelevant, who's been playing good, but just like when Cooper Rush came in here, 5-0, defense hot, never giving up that many yards, whatever. What happened to him? He got demolished, and the better team showed you what happens. You can't, unless you got our offensive line, that would be the only offensive line in the league, I would say, that probably can stand a chance against our defensive line. It's ours, because we got the best offensive line in the league. All five of them Pro Bowls or Pro Bowl options. There's no team in the league like that right now. And I do give big Trenton Williams the silverback, whatever they call him. He's a great tackle in this league, probably the best left tackle in football, still at his old age. But that's one player. You're not blocking 5-6 players like that. So, they're going to have a lot of pressure on them this coming Sunday. And I don't think they're ready for that.
Yeah, it's so nice to see an Eagles team with an O-line that can protect the quarterback. Years ago, that was not the case. It was such a stressor for us Eagles fans. And Philly 500 said, dude, the atmosphere is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy there at the stadium. And no other fan base can even compete. And just the nature of the players, it's this whole dynamic that is just unique to Philly. Only Philly has this, and we get the opportunity to let it shine on Sunday. So are any of you guys going to the game?
No, I'm not going to this game.
I will be streaming, but I won't be there.
Okay. I went to my first game. What was that? The first loss, actually. Sucks. But it was the first loss in Washington. That was my first home Eagles game. I lived in Cali, so I went to all the Eagles games there, 6 or 7 of those down there. But, I went to my first Link Eagles game. It was awesome, 7-hour tailgate. I was kind of messed up. Me and the missus were kind of messed up. I think E-Rock got a nice little picture of us that third quarter passed out in the stands. So it was cool, just to feel that experience, to hear the Eagles fight song, play loud and proud inside the stadium with the rest of the people. Luckily, we scored early that game. And I got to experience all that before the alcohol really kicked in and I was out. So it was a good one. But these tickets are kind of high.
The third quarter?
Yeah, man, I was out. 500, I was out. I ain't never been I'm older. You know what I'm saying?
I need that picture. I need that video. I need that
picture.
See the
video? You didn't see it on Twitter?
No.
Damn near went viral. I was E-Rock like this, looking at me like this. I'm the funny thing, we're sitting.
Tag us. I'm back on Twitter, so now I want to.
Yeah, check it out, E-Rock. Go check out E-Rock's page. It was the Washington game, so you don't have to go back a couple of weeks. But man,
okay.
My Miss Birdgang was like, E-Rock just took pictures of us. I go, no, E-Rock didn't. What are you talking about? He's cool. He's not doing that. And sure enough, that picture was posted quick. We were out, both of us out. She woke up a little sooner than me. I missed the whole halftime and probably the most of the third quarter. Until the end of the third, I think I got back up, and when she told me E-Rock took a picture, and I got up and stayed up the rest of the time. It was good, but like I said, I had no expectations. That was my first Eagles home game. No kids. I was at the 4th and John tailgate. It was amazing. Getting to meet fans and other content creators and be able to, shoot the shit with them while you're out there having fun, getting ready for a game. But like I said, I've never been in a 7-hour tailgate. We were there like at 2 o'clock, the game to start to 8. You know what I'm saying? Like we were pretty messed up. I remember JC Eagles talk was like, Birdgang, we're about to go inside the stadium. You ready? I was like, stadium? What are you talking about? Like, I was pretty messed up at that time. But we went in there, we rocked it. It was good. Man. It was a good time. It was a good time.
That's cool.
But who would you guys say besides Jalen Hurts impressed you the most this year?
Well,
Yeah.
I've been impressed with AJ Brown. Like he's been, it was a big move. Like, oh, we acquired him, and my pastor's like, hey, AJ Brown, and so I'm kind of relearning the team this year, and so like I really didn't know much about him in the beginning, and now seeing him perform, and then seeing again, he has that similar character as Jalen Hurts, where he's like a righteous wide receiver. He's posting scriptures. He's like posting stuff about Jesus, which means he's reading his Bible every day. Like these are the players that aren't just like off, getting into trouble in, when they're not on the field. Like I think even there's a defender on the Niners who just got arrested, right?
Yeah.
For violence. So it's like, that's what I care about even more now that I'm a mom, now that I'm like I have a family. It's like, I want these righteous players to set a good example, not just a good example, but to be crushing it on the field. And so Jalen already does that, and AJ Brown, and there's so many other players that do that, but he's someone that's really been highlighted, especially these past few weeks for me, where I'm like, yes, this Eagles team just keeps getting better and better. Like I can't wait for what they're going to do to close out the year with that victory. So
there you go. I would say I'd say Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Ooh.
Because when we got him in a trade, he was moving from a slot corner to safety. We knew he had talent, but we didn't know what kind of impact he would make. And for him to come out and play the way he has, I think that was a surprise. I knew Devontae Smith would be good. I knew AJ would be good. Those guys I already kind of knew. Hassan Reddick, but Chauncey Gardner-Johnson definitely surprised me for the better.
Yeah, and that's another one, man. If he wasn't hurt, he definitely would have been a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type guy out there. But he was hurt, but he's back. I heard some news today though. Do you guys think Maddox is gonna come back to this game? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if we should bring him back this week. If it's one of them things where he's on the fence, I feel like we will be in a Super Bowl, and you let him sit another 2 weeks, he'll be fully ready for that Super Bowl game, which I think will be more important because, you look at it, the Niners, Deebo Samuels is a great receiver, don't get me wrong, but he's like a gadget receiver type guy. It's not really about the, route running and all that with him. It's about, give the man the ball and let him do his thing. And other than that, Ayuk, I'm not worried about, and like Jennings, whoever that guy is, I'm not really worried about him. I feel like, you wouldn't have to rush him back this week. But how do you feel about the news of, Maddox being out there, and would you want him to play?
go ahead, Philly.
Okay, I'll say that if he can play. I mean, we're NFC Championship game. We're one win away from the Super Bowl. What are we holding back at this point for? If you can go. We need him. So I say, yeah, if he can play, do it. But he's got to be, he's got to be able to play. I don't want him like 75%. If he's like, maybe not 100, but close enough, I say play him. Definitely.
Yeah.
Everybody?
I think it's one of those game time things where it's just like, if he's not going to be at 100%, it's not worth the risk of just like having that open door there. So I agree.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I agree with you, 500. If he's able to play, because I always told everybody, they're like, what about Jalen Hurts? What about Lane Johnson? I go, listen, guys, we are in modern day. There's enough modern day medicine out there that can keep these guys to play 3 games. You know what I'm saying? There's only 3 games left. We're not in the middle of the season. We're not in the beginning of the season. There's 3 games left. Shoot them up. Do what you got to do. I don't care. That's not my job to care. It's my job to see him out there playing at a high level. And Maddox, I know it's his toe. I know that has to do with your feet and moving. And if you can't plant and go, on that toe, then don't play. You know what I'm saying? Period. Don't play at all because we don't want you out there being a liability. We got CJ there, Gardner-Johnson that can play that slot, and Blankenship's been playing good at safety. And even Kayvon has come along as of late, playing good at that safety position. So I'm about, play the best players are ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Right.
don't need no weaknesses going into this game. They are still a dangerous team. Like, what scares you guys the most about this Niner team? Even though I know we're gonna win it, but what would be your biggest concern with this Niners team?
The run game. They're able to run the ball so effectively that they keep our offense off the field, and they constantly get into like third and one, third and short. Constantly being able to move the chains and keep us off the field. That would be my biggest concern. I don't sweat their quarterback. I don't sweat anything else. I don't even sweat their defense. I think we can move the ball on them. But if they could keep our offense off the field, which is the way we lost the other 3 games when the other teams kept us off the field, that would be my biggest concern.
Okay, my answer is going to be weird because I'm all about the supernatural realm of things. So when I saw, their quarterback posting, like, he has kind of a similar righteous QB ethic where he's all about character, scripture, God, like biblical principles, like people who actually apply biblical principles to their expertise, their profession, whatever it is, it levels it up. Right. And so, yes, he's a rookie, but like someone who's applying those principles, they get a supernatural advantage. But I'm not too concerned about that because our players and multiple players are doing the same thing. But when I saw him, certain posts going, on social media, I was like, oh, snaps. Okay. They have spiritual, supernatural power going into this game too, but not enough to beat our Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, like you said, 500, the run game really, because you're not just talking about CMC. You're talking about Mitchell, who just came back, had a great game last week. You're talking about Debo Samuels. They line him up in the backfield. You know what I'm saying? And had tossing the ball from time to time. And I do know that the interior defensive line is really good with the Eagles, but sometimes they do get beat on those outsides. And that's what I worry about. Them hitting those edges, hitting them corners full speed. That's when you got to worry about. We're going to need our linebackers playing at a very high level, this game for sure. But other than that, what I'm saying, I think we can lock them down in most of the other areas. So, it's gonna be a good game. Like I said, I feel like it's gonna be a lot bigger blowout than most people. But we're gonna see what happens this Sunday. But so on defense right now, do you think they're gonna do a lot more zone? Or do you think they're going to lock these guys, Debo and Ayuk up, and Kittle up, like these 3 guys up, lock them up, and just let the rest of the defense do their thing? Or you think they just JG going to do what he normally do and play that zone defense?
I think he's gonna. I think we're gonna see. This is just my theory, right? I could be totally wrong, but I think we're gonna see more man to man. I think we're gonna see more aggressive. I think it's gonna be a lot similar to what we saw versus the Giants, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I think. To me, the whole thing is stop the run, and then what I would do is I would stop the short passing game. So basically, I would force Purdy to have to throw downfield to beat me. Everything close, everything short, I'm going to be ready for it, and I would just dare him the whole game. That's how I would approach it. So I think that's how they're gonna play. But what do I know? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just all speculation here.
Yeah.
And I prefer man-to-man, but it's like, I'm so confident in this team that like, CJ was posting like that whole team, they're praying before the game. They're getting like clarity of mind, right? So I trust that the team, when they do that, they're going to be equipped to make those game time adjustments. Like if something's not working, that they will be able to catch it quick and they will shift if needed. But I feel good. I feel good how they're running things right now, and whatever they do, I'm happy with.
And that begs the point is we're going against Shanahan, who's been to Super Bowl, NFC Championship last year. He got a lot of experience in these playoffs. Are you guys worried at all that we get out coached this game? We might have the better talent, but you're worried that we might get out coached because we got experience. Guy like Shanahan going against him.
Not after she told us all those prophecy stuff. I'm good to go now. I think we're good.
Exactly.
Not anymore. No, I mean, I do worry about it a little bit, but I trust our coaches. I thought they did a great job last week. Mm-hmm. So I'm okay with it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I feel like that too. Like it's just we only can beat ourselves to me at this point. If we don't getting another one of those, man, and another one of these this year, there's gonna be something extremely wrong. You know what I'm saying? We would have to really drop the ball. Like Jalen had to throw like 3 picks. You know what I'm saying? AJ would have to fumble again like he did that one game. You know, like there had to be no pressure getting on Purdy. And he's gotten all day for some odd reason. You know what I'm saying? Like this game should be a very easy game to win. I feel like, you know, like say like they got talent over there. Don't get me wrong. I love, you know, I'm from being from Cali. I love me some Mufunga back there at safety. I wish the Eagles would have drafted him. You know, Warner, one of the best linebackers in the game. Bosa is one of the best ends at the game. In the game, you know what I'm saying? They got some beasts over there. Greenlaw's playing some good football, but there's not enough of them. And I think that's where it comes to, you know, you got a good team, but there's levels to this. We're here, and you got like right there, y'all creeping, but y'all not there yet. And I think it should be an easy route for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can throw on the Niners. I think they're ranked 20th against the pass. So you look at a guy like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, like those guys should have a big game. You know, and to me, it comes back to like, do I think the Eagles can score enough points to move the ball on them? Yeah, I do. If you look at the Dallas game, Dallas moved the ball on them. They just made mistakes when they, you know, got to the red zone and stuff. We could score points on them, but how is their quarterback, a rookie quarterback, going to come to Philly and keep up when we score points? How are they going to match us? That's where I think, like, it doesn't matter what their game plan is. I really think if the Eagles just go out, play their game, and execute, I think they got this. I really do.
Oh yeah. So assuming all goes to plan, anybody going to Arizona?
No, I told my boss I want to go to Philly when we win the championship. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to Philly. I want to go to the parade. I go, you know,
it's too hard. It's too hard with kids. It's too hard with kids now to get on a plane and go. It's too hard for me.
True that, you know? I got a lot of these little eaglets that call running around the house.
What's up?
How many kiddos you have, Philly?
I got two daughters.
Oh, how old are they?
They're 15 and 12.
Oh,
they're getting old. Yeah.
Big girls. All right.
Big.
That's why I couldn't go to the parade in 2018 because I was pregnant. I couldn't get on the plane.
Yeah. It's tough just because I got to take who's going to take them to school, who's going to pick them up. It would create so much. One of these days, I'll go back home. I used to live in the area. I don't live in the area anymore. I'm stuck in California myself. So
you're in California? Where are you? I'm in California too. What part?
I'm north of outside Sacramento.
Oh, okay, NorCal.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about you?
I got 7.
You're where?
I said I'm in Bama right now. I'm from Cali. I used to live on the Central Coast.
You're in Cali too.
You know, I used to live on the Central Coast, San Luis Obispo County. You know, right there in wine country. It was good. You know, I'm in the South right now, and I'm planning to move to Philly this summer. You know, to do some stuff out there. But man, yeah. You know, it is hard to go with these kids. You gotta find babysitters. My oldest is only 12. So I don't, you know, you can't be like, hey, you're 17, you watch the kids while I go. You know, like you gotta find some babysitters and family members to split them up. You know, 3 go here, 3 go here. You know, 2 go here. I was really blessed to go to that Eagles game. You know, we had the grandparents watching all the kids for that day. You know, because it was something big. You know, they'd go ahead and help us out and do it because you know they know what we do and they know. You know, it means a lot to us. But like I said, I did tell my boss, and I told everybody, be ready to babysit because when we do that, whatever day that parade is, I'm gonna be there. I'm definitely gonna be there. You know, I would love to experience that live. You know, a parade down Broad Street, seeing the fans, seeing everybody. So that's my bucket list thing right there, is to make sure I'm at that parade this year.
Delia, you're in California?
Yeah, I'm in SoCal.
Okay.
I'm in San Gabriel Valley. So you know where there was the Monterey Park shooting?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like less than 10 miles away from that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. California, what are you gonna do? Came out here. My wife's from here, so I came out and who knows? It's
Do you like it? Do you like it? Being from the the Philly area?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, South Jersey. I don't like it. I'll be honest. But I think the people are nice, but
Too much sunshine for you?
That's what I would say. The people
No.
difference. You feel like there's a people difference, like attitude wise, like
You know what? Here, somebody I saw something, and they summed up West Coast people and East Coast people really, really good. They said West Coast people, like let's say you get a flat tire. If you're on the West Coast, they'll come by and they'll go, "Oh, that's too bad. I feel so sorry for you," but they'll keep going. On the East Coast, they'll be like, "Ah, you moron, you dummy! How did you do that?" But they'll help you fix it. And I thought, man, that's really perfect. From my experience.
Yeah, that's interesting. Everybody's too busy in LA. Okay.
And it's like, it's just expensive in Cali. Like, like that's my biggest gripe from not moving back there already. Like the prices are getting out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like I went back to my hometown and I was like looking at some of the prices and they're like, oh, maybe I'll come back here because I want to go back and go to my high school. I went to Tuscaloosa High School in Central California. I want to go coach there. We just won our first CIF championship since I was a sophomore. You know what I'm saying, this year. So it'd be awesome to see my, high school and the Eagles winning the same year. That'd be great. But I want to go back there with my kids and go coach some football out there. So but I was just looking at the price like, man, I'm in the South. In Alabama, man. Alabama's the cheapest place to live in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely in all the states. Like, I got a nice house, 3-bedroom here that I only pay like, tax sale, $2,500 is worth $120,000 right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't pay rent. I just pay my $600 a year, $700 a year in taxes and go about that, and I use that's my income tax check to do that. So I don't even have to spend money out of my pocket to live here. So it's really hard. It's like pulling teeth to get me to
move. And where's Alabama?
Yeah.
How do I get there?
We all
get a straight line to the Birmingham. I'm telling you, the only deal with Alabama to South is like, for me, coming from Cali, the whole racism thing is really still pretty big out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in Cali there is racism, but like where I grew up, I grew up in wine country. People weren't acting out. We didn't worry about none of that stuff. To me, the racism there is like poverty. Either the rich people hate the poor people hate the rich people. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing in terms of the actual, But it is Alabama's like the last state probably to have slavery. I'm not sure. So it's like these guys out here. It's a different level type thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, I don't really vibe with that, too much, because I believe we're all the same. And the only thing that separates us is our where we live at. You know what I'm saying? Either you're in the East Coast, West Coast, wherever. But other than that, we're all the same. We're all human beings. We all bleed the same color, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. All right.
But,
awesome. Well,
but
thanks for on, you guys. I have to leave a little early. Birdgang already knows. I thought we were starting at 4, so I have to go somewhere this evening. But I want to shout out to people in the comments. Hey y'all, Philadelphia, Birdman 951. I see y'all there. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you guys.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Bird fam.
Nice meeting you.
Yes. All right. Well,
and make sure you guys hit that link, subscribe to her. She's back out there throwing out that Eagles content. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? It's something special to watch.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Have a blessed week and go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Yes, Eagles.
Yeah. So, but yeah, 500, man. Like, so the South is just, you, like I said, you can live here with like, nothing, like $2,500. And all you gotta do is wait 3 years. You get the deed to your house. You know what I'm saying? Like if no one buys it back in that 3 years, and if someone buys it back, you still get your money back and all that kind of stuff. So it's not like you take a loss by even trying it out. So, my goal is to sell my house, get a couple more of these before I leave, rent them out, and then hit Philly this year. So you see how that works out.
Do you want to go to Philly or you want to go? See, I'm coming back east. I don't know where. I'm not going to Alabama, but I might go to Florida. I might go to North Carolina.
Florida's another good one.
I want to go somewhere where I ain't going to get taxed to death. You know what I'm saying? And
which one would you rather live in? In Philly, Jersey? What's the other one that's right there? Like that whole little DMV area, like
Delaware?
Yeah, like when I left there, it's like all those states are right there next to each other. Like you kind of drive through all of them. When you're leaving the stadium. I want to be anywhere within 30 minutes to the stadium. That's 30 minutes to an hour. Anywhere in that circumference.
You can be in Jersey, it'd be that close. You could be in Pennsylvania, it'd be that close. I mean, you get pretty close, even Delaware. I would, if I had to go back, I'd probably go back to South Jersey only because I know, I have a lot of family and stuff right there, and friends and stuff. But
How far away
I
from the stadium were you there?
but I could jump on 42. I could get there probably 20 minutes,
Oh, yes, that's what I'm
25
talking about, my
minutes,
God.
unless there's traffic. That
Nigga
would be
said, come to Florida. Come to Florida.
Florida. Florida, I could deal with Florida. I'm definitely Florida and North Carolina are my two top choices right now. So
Nice.
we'll see.
How do you feel about that? And we looked at these playoffs. We looked at the best eight. And like most of them are old ex-Eagle coaches. You know what I'm saying? You got the Bengals, got some Eagle coaching over there. The Giants had Kafka, who's an old Eagle coach. KC obviously got Big Red. A lot of old Eagle coaches out there making a name for themselves in the NFL. What kind of credit does that put to Lurie and these guys? Getting the right guys in there, whether they worked out for us or not.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty impressive. That whole Andy Reid tree is pretty amazing, really, when you look at it. If you're like Holmgren and Andy Reid, and you have like Jim Johnson, you have the Harbaugh came out of it. I mean, all these coaches have come out of it. And really,
Bengals
Doug,
coach too.
yeah, and Doug. I mean, Doug. Like I thought at the time we shouldn't have fired Doug. Like I thought he deserved one more year. So it wasn't something that I would have done, but it worked out. And I think it worked out for Doug, and it looks like it's working out for us with Nick Sirianni. So it's crazy. It really is.
I know when I had you and LB on earlier this year, I asked you guys, is this the best Eagles team of all time? And I know you guys said you gotta wait and watch the season. Is it still waiting to the end of the playoffs, or have you made a decision on that one?
Well, I think from a talent perspective, if you're going to say both offensively and defensively, so like I would still, even though as good as our defense was, I still look at that old Reggie defense as the best defense I've ever seen in my life. But they didn't have the offense that we have, like completely, like all around. I think this is probably most talented. They just got to finish it now, right? Like 2017 was able to finish it and win. Now that's what they have to go do,
Give me your top 3 free agents. I know we're going off tackle, but we don't really, we kind of already got a good sense that we're going to dominate this game. Give me your top 3 free agents you want back next year.
Okay, number 1, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, because of age. I put him 1 on the list. Number 2 is Bradbury. You have to find a way to bring James Bradbury back, in my opinion. Like I would consider franchise tagging him 1 year, right? I would extend Hurts, but I'd have his extension not kick in next year, kick in 2 years down the road. And then I would try to bring Bradbury back on a 1-year deal. And I would draft early, I would draft a corner and then let them learn behind Bradbury. But I want Gardner-Johnson, Bradbury. And the third one's hard because I think you have to bring Hargrave back because he had 11 sacks. But I really want Miles back. The more I think about the more I want Miles back. So I'm torn between those two.
Thank you. Finally, I've asked that question to a lot of Eagles content creators, and that guy's name was definitely left off the list, a top 3. They probably said it'd be cool if he come back, but a lot of them don't think he's coming back. Man, to me, he's number 1 on the list. I think you got to go re-sign Miles Sanders, period. Like, we already know Jalen's going to get the bag, but you got to re-sign Miles Sanders. All those other guys, even like you could pick up another cornerback. We did it with Bradbury. We had, what's his name,
Right.
Nelson Allen. He played decent the year before. We upgraded with Bradbury. I'm pretty sure, I think Ramsey over there with the Rams looking to get out. Like, if we want to make a move, how we know how to make a move to get another cornerback? Defensive tackle Hargraves, definitely great player. We'll love to see him back as well. But you still got Milton Williams, you still got Jordan Davis, you still got some Bulls back there. Marlon's coming back, who this year, starting off the year, he played some good football, before he got hurt. So, and then all, the other positions, it's like you got guys waiting in line behind, to play, that can play at a high level if you keep majority of this nucleus together. But we don't got another running back like Miles Sanders. You know what I'm saying? If we don't got another one, I'm not a big fan of giving Gainwell the keys. I know he had 112 yards last week. That was good for him. but I'm not a big fan of him or Boston Scott being the lead back. To be honest, I think we should, like you said, find a way to re-sign Miles. And I was still in the first round. Go draft unless he slides to the second, but go draft Bajan Robertson. What's his name? Baji Robinson from
Yeah,
Texas,
John Robinson.
to make sure you have two good running backs. Because the league's about talent. You can have one star all you like, but now it's about multiple stars. Like, how many stars can you get on the roster at one time? You know what I'm saying? If you want to go win a
Yeah,
championship, and I think
yeah,
that would be our biggest thing to get Booby back in here, because he still got a lot of tread left on his tires. And like when you use him correctly, like we did this year, you see he had 1,300 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty good, and that's all he really
yeah.
needs to be on the team right here. Second, I would probably say CJ Charlie Gardner Johnson for sure. We need to get
Yeah.
that guy out here a full year. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. And like you say, he's young. We need that. Malcolm Jenkins, Dawkins type safety back there, that staple safety back there. I think he
Yeah.
can be that for the Eagles for years to come. And
Agree.
third, it's kind of. I would go with. Let's go ahead and get Bradbury back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we could get another cornerback out there, but like you said, draft the cornerback and draft some time, and let them, because both of these guys. I think Bradbury should stay as long as Slay's contract's left, and keep those guys
Right.
together for like
I would
what
love it.
2-3 years. So yeah.
Yeah,
Howie Roseman, GM of the year.
absolutely. Not just GM of for the NFL, GM of all sports.
Woo!
Like all sports. I mean, if you look at what he did, and I think about the last year, and I think about the playoffs. I remember watching the Buffalo Bills versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Remember that game? How great that playoff game was. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember thinking to myself, and I think I was streaming it. I was saying, the stream was like, you look at these two teams and you see how far we have to go. We have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of work to do to catch
Mm-hmm.
up to those teams. He did it all in 1 year. I mean,
Yeah, one off season.
in one off season, he did it all. So to me, that's just so impressive. I have to give, and not only that, he did it, and we still have 2 first-round picks coming into this draft. So
Yeah.
I think he's been absolutely fantastic.
What about Nick Sirianni, Coach of the Year?
I think he should be considered. I think he should be considered. He went. I mean, what he's done with that team has been really good. If they want to say, Peterson is or DeBall, I can live with it. But to be left off the list is an insult.
No, man, he definitely should be. Because I know a lot of people are like, well, he went to the playoffs last year. He's in the playoffs again with a better team. So it's like, but still, you got to, like, the things we did in the season, you know what I'm saying? What would be your most impressive record that we broke this year? Individual record, because I know everybody's like the
Oh,
70
well, the
But-
7 sacks because when I still look at that defensive line with Reggie and Clyde Droom, and I still think it's the greatest defensive line I've ever seen. So it was impressive that they did it. As far as an individual record goes, yeah, that's pretty tough to think about. I probably have to lean towards AJ Brown's receiving yards, breaking Mike Quick's receiving yards record. That stood for a long time. That record, So that's a hell of a team
Yeah,
record.
that one
to
right
break.
there. Woo!
Yeah, I mean
Great.
that Mike Quick. When I first started watching football, Mike Quick was like the only player on the team. Him and a guy named Roynell Young, and that was it. And Mike Quick was my first jersey I ever had as a young kid.
Oh, yeah?
So yeah, so he held that record for a long time.
Do you think these guys right here become the best quarterback receiver duo? And I guess you should add Smitty in there too. Trio out
I
there.
think
in
you
the
have to.
NFL
I
for
think you
years
have to
come.
add Smitty. Here's why. Because all right, and this is probably not a lot of people will agree with me.
No, I like that.
I believe that Devontae Smith is the best receiver on this team.
Whoa! Hot take 500. You just said Devontae Smith is the best receiver on the team.
Yeah. I said he would lead the team in receptions, and he did. And I think A.J. Brown and him are great compliments. A.J. Brown is big, he's physical, he's fast, great yards after the catch. And then you get Smitty, who is unbelievable route runner, and I think he has unbelievable hands. And those are just such a great combination. But I really did. I think Devontae Smith, like I said
You
this
think
when
they're
they
the best duo
drafted
in
him.
the NFL?
Yes. I think they're the best duo in the
Better
NFL.
than Chase and Higgins, better than Waddle and
I
Hill,
do. Yeah.
better than all of them.
I mean, Waddle Hill's pretty good, right? It's pretty hard,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I love these two guys, man. I just think from a complimentary standpoint of like how they're two different type of receivers,
Yes.
but you know, they just make it really hard to defend. Who do you defend? The big physical yard after catch guy, or the great route running, great hands guy? I mean, who do you get? You know, if you look at the last 6 weeks of this season, Devontae Smith was putting up almost exactly the same numbers as A.J. Brown.
That's facts. I remember seeing
Yeah.
that. That is facts. And like I said too, I was one of the guys too. I said AJ probably will have more yards. Devontae probably have more catches. You know, just because you said the route running, that's you get open, you get the ball. But I didn't think that they're both, you know what I'm saying, be breaking records for the Eagles this year. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he was going to break the reception record. And I definitely didn't think AJ his first year was going to break the receiving record. So the fact that both of them broke records individually show how good they are together and how unstoppable they are together.
Now listen, I'll say I'm like Devontae Smith is literally my favorite player in the National Football League. Like I love that guy. So you know, I want him to succeed and do great.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. That's just the first time I heard it. You know, that's the first time I heard it live. That you know, Devontae is better than AJ because everybody mostly goes towards AJ. Obviously, he's the Pro Bowler right now. You know, Devontae got snubbed on that. He's the Pro Bowler. He's the one out there getting all the glamour and the hype and stuff. But that is a good take, man. That's a great take. You know, because like you said, he is guaranteed to get open. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't drop very much things. We've watched him do so many sideline catches this year. And I was just like, wow, how'd you do that? Like, how'd you stay him down? How to feet? You know, he is very good at what he does. And I think this is definitely going to be like the trio with them two and Goddard. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Goddard climbed to? Okay, yeah. Do you think Goddard's better than Kittle's now?
That's really tough.
Okay.
How many
I won't say he's better than Kells, but
how many games has Kittle played this? Did he play all his games?
I remember. I thought he was hurt in the beginning of the season, wasn't he?
Because the only thing I would say with Goddard is the injuries. He gets hurt a little. You know, he was hurt. He missed how many games this year? Like 4 or 5 games, right? So I think that hurts. That hurts him. I'm curious to see how many. I'm looking up here so I can find out how many games he played.
I think Goddard right now is the second best tight end in the league. I know there's a lot of good ones.
I think Goddard's definitely top 3 or 4.
Because the thing I think he does better is like he said, they asked him, you know what I'm saying, like what tight ends do you watch? He's like, no, I watch receivers. You know, I want to mold my game at the receivers. They're a lot more cleaner off the breaks. You know, I want to be like, you know, when I'm out there running routes, I want to be like one of the best to run routes. And he goes, and I watch, you know, offensive linemen for blocking. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of him watching tight ends, he goes, there's no need for that because the two things that I'm doing, I'm watching either linemen to block, or I'm watching receivers to get off the line and a route run. And I think that's what separates him from, you know, all of them. I think Kittle's is a good on both sides. He's had injuries too as well. You know, he's not the same Kittle from back when we were like, you know, who we say the big three was Kelsey, Kittles, and Ertz. You know what I'm saying? He's not that same Kittle no more because he's been hurt. He's been down. I think Goddard's kind of on the way up. This was his first season starting the whole year. Well, he got hurt, but I mean, like being the starter, you know, without Ertz in your way, without, you know, someone in your way of, you know, taking up that shine. So, you know, I think.
I'll say this. No, I was going to say, Kittle had 60 catches this year for 765 yards. Goddard had 55 catches for 702 yards. But Kittle played in 3 more games. No. So if he plays in those 3 games, he's got better stats than him. So I think it's pretty close. I think it's pretty close.
Do you think he'd ever get higher than the Kelce brother, Travis Kelce? You think he'd get that elite?
I think Travis Kelce is better than Kittle. So I just think Kelce.
I was saying, you think Goddard can get above Kelce?
I think another 2 years, he's the best tight end in the league.
There you go. I like it, man.
Yeah.
I like it. Give me 3 hot takes for this game this Sunday that no one would probably be thinking about.
All right. Miles Sanders over 100 yards rushing. They're going to make a big deal that he doesn't get 100 yards because they're great against the run. What's his face is going to throw. Brock Purdy will throw 2 interceptions.
Nice.
They say he doesn't throw interceptions, and I think Devontae Smith and AJ Brown both go over 100 yards catching.
Woo! I like those hot takes.
I obviously I think the Eagles are winning by double digits this week.
Woo! We about to get that score position too. We about to get it.
Yeah.
I love those hot takes because, like you said, let's go against the opposite. They're like, oh, San Francisco hasn't given up more than 17 points per game. I'm telling you, we're going over 17 points, period. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, double-digit win is about to be a nice game for our offense, So that's my hot take. We're going to definitely demolish that whole 17-point thing. Another one is that we will get, it's going to be one of them games like 7 to 9 sacks, on them because I don't see that line. Like I said, Trey, the Saberback, whatever they call him, Silverback over there is not blocking. Trent Williams not blocking, 6 guys, period. He might get lucky with one of them, but he ain't blocking 6. He ain't blocking 6. So I think we get 7 to 9 sacks, and that's going to be the hugest thing. And then my biggest hot take is Jalen Hurts going to finally get his first 400-yard passing game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been waiting for this. I was waiting for this all season. I kept saying there's a hot take. But with that secondary, because I don't even see their starter stopping AJ for one. You know what I'm saying? I don't see either one of those guys stopping either one of our 2 guys at all, period. You know what I'm saying? They're just different level players. That's what I'm going to say. Jalen will finally get his first 400 yard. Do you think if Jalen go out there and pull off, a 400-yard, 5-touchdown game, 1 being on the ground, 4 in the air, he can sneak past Mahomes, win this MVP battle?
No, because I think they don't count the playoffs. So they don't count the playoffs in the MVP voting. So it has nothing, whatever happens now has no impact on it.
So they just gave us the finalists just to keep us on edge.
Yeah, basically.
Type thing. It's not like none of this really matters, Do you think he has what is his shot, do you think, of actually getting? I know he missed those 2 games, but what,
I think he finishes second. I think Mahomes wins it. Unfortunately, because of the way we always get screwed with this kind of stuff, I think he gets second. But I think he deserves it. I did a video on this, and I made the point that him missing 2 games actually showed that he's actually the MVP.
Yeah.
If you look at the games we lost, you saw how bad he was missed. And
it wasn't just on the offensive side; it was on the defensive side too. The whole team aura went down.
I think he deserves it, but I don't think he'll get it because the league is always biased against this. And they're going to look at Mahomes' numbers and they're going to give him.
But when you look at those numbers, I know it would have probably been better if he didn't, because he could have got closer to 4,000 yards passing, and then that rushing can kind of throw him up there a little bit more. I just look at it like you're like tops in both. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're one of the best running backs in the league, my guy. And you're one of the best quarterbacks in the league. His percentages are better. He has less turnovers. He never had a bad game all season long. He only lost 1 football game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that stuff should matter in terms of, like, we've seen Patty Mahomes throw interceptions at the end of the game to lose the game. We've seen him throw interceptions all year long. They call him the gunslinger. He throws the ball a substantially amount more than Jalen Hurts. Imagine if Jalen had that many passes, what his passing numbers would be. But it's not what he does. He's a dual threat, and he keeps everybody up. That, like you said, he controls the run game and the pass game. I think that's more valuable. That's, to me, is a more valuable quarterback. If, people ask me, would I want Mahomes or would I want Jalen? I tell them straight up, I want Jalen still. I know Mahomes is the GOAT, one of the GOATs out there right now doing the same big, but I just like the threat of Jalen. You can do a lot with your offense when you got a player that can dominate like he does, double digit, rushing touchdowns and freaking passing touchdowns. That's something that's rare. I think that's what people get really scared of, is to say, oh, let's add the rushing with Jalen, his impact as a rusher, with his impact as a passer, because I think he had 101 quarterback rating for the year. So with that kind of a rating, that tells you you're elite passing quarterback, period. And then you throw in those rushing numbers and rushing touchdowns. It's like, to me, it's hard. Maybe I look at the quarterback thing a little bit differently, but to me, it's hard to because I don't think Lamar Jackson was that great. I don't think, even Michael Vick and Donovan McNabb, all those guys, they might, but I think Donnie had one 4,000-yard season, what I'm saying, out of all of them. And it's just like, none of them had that threat too at the running spot. Well, Vic did, but he wasn't a passer, what I'm saying? But none of them had the double, where you got to worry about both every single game, every down in, down out. So, I think Reddick should get defensive player of the year too. I agree. Bosa has 18 and a half sacks, including the playoffs, and Reddick has 17 and a half sacks, including the playoffs.
They won't even consider him. They put Micah Parsons above him, and he had a better year than Micah Parsons. So I agree with you. I agree with you on both accounts. I do.
Well, I'm going to get you out of here, 500, but give me your score prediction for this Sunday.
The Eagles, they're going to win 34-13.
Ooh.
I think this is a beating coming. I think that people are going to be shocked because the Eagles are going to stop the run. And they're going to do exactly what I said. They're going to dare Purdy to have to throw the ball downfield. He's not going to be able to do it. They're going to try to use Deebo Samuel, a lot of slants, a lot of end arounds, a lot of short pass game. The Eagles are going to take that away from him. And I don't think Purdy's ready for this moment in Philly.
He is better than Parsons. Sorry.
He is better than Parsons. This year, he had a way better year than Parsons. Sorry.
Cowboy fan, raise your hand before he's talking in chat. No, I just play.
But yeah, I do think so. I got 34-13. I think the Eagles. I think it's an onslaught, man.
And I'm with you on that because I got them 42-17. I just think it's going to be a bombs away game for the Eagles. They're going to look just as impressive as they did against the Giants. Because I feel like San Francisco you heard them all this week talking about, it was a good test. That was the best defense we went against. The Cowboys defense, it was a good test for us. That's going to make us prepare for Philadelphia. No, it's not. Okay? When we were all full cylinder, we blew the Cowboys out of the water that first game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we destroyed those guys. So it's not the same. And if you're trying to pull the whole New York Giants card, well, look what we did to Minnesota. We're not Minnesota. We're not the Cowboys. We're not none of those teams. We're the Eagles, and we're on a different level than the rest of them. And I think they're going to really find out this weekend, when we put them numbers up on them. So I got us 42-17. Birds winning this game, man. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice to see.
Yeah, double digits, baby. That's what I think. I think the Eagles go off this week. I think that I've said this, and I believe this. I thought whoever came into Philly in the NFC Championship game was walking in to a buzzsaw. It's not the game you want to play us. The Eagles had a chance. If they had a chance to lose, it would have been the Giants game, the first game back from the bye.
Yeah.
Now that
I was a little bit worried about that one, but now
that they won, it's over.
Before we get who would you rather play in the Super Bowl, the KC or the Bengals?
The Bengals. Case, I think the Eagles beat the Bengals. I think with the I think the defensive line dominates the Bengals. Kansas City, if Mahomes is hurt, then maybe Kansas City, because it really depends on his injury. But if he's healthy, Kansas City is one of those teams that can move the ball too. They can. That would be an amazing game, a high scoring game. But they scare me more than Cincinnati. I think we beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, and I think we would probably beat Cincinnati more because I don't even think KC's going to beat Cincinnati. They haven't beat them. I think I think undefeated against them. And now with Patty hurt, that's another big problem.
That's why I think I'm taking Cincinnati right now because of Mahomes' injury.
But I would rather see Big Red because Big Red, since Big Red left us, he's been destroying us. He's been winning. I think he's undefeated since he left.
It would be a great storyline. I don't know if we have. It would be really entertaining. It would be an entertaining game. And I think our hearts will be in our throat because I think we'll be nervous. I think it'll be back and forth versus Kansas City. I think Cincinnati we take care of pretty easy.
Yeah, but I want to see it just to finally give Big Red that L. We might not did it in the regular season, but in the Super Bowl, the biggest stage, to go ahead and go out with a
I
bang
would love. Oh,
and
I
give
love
Big
it.
Red that L. But we're gonna see
Yeah.
who we play because I think we're gonna know who we play at before our game even starts because they play on Saturday, right?
No, they play Sunday. They play after us, I believe.
Oh, they play
So if we
after
play
us.
first,
So
yeah.
both games
So
on
we got
Sunday.
to step back and watch. Yeah, we get to watch who we're gonna play.
Yeah. So either way, I feel confident against both teams. I don't think either one was going to. But hey, thanks again, 500 for
Thank
stopping
you.
by, man. Much love to you.
Yeah,
Salute to you, your
you too,
channel. You
man.
guys are growing. Almost at that 50K mark, my guy. Almost at that
Trying,
50K. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
trying.
Do big things over there, man. So you
Thank
have
you.
a great rest of your day. Any last words for the fans you want to let them know before you get out of here?
Yeah, Philly 500. You guys, if you don't know, and I'm around, and just if you're a 49er fan out there, enjoy your week because it's about to get real ugly this Sunday. It's going to get real ugly for you guys.
Time to say
Eagles will
bye
win.
bye Niner gang. Bye
Yeah.
bye Niner gang. And we out. Peace.